I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review and installation of the Teraflex 3-inch Sport ST3 suspension with Fox shocks fitting your 2007 and up JK. Today we're going to talk through the installation of this kit, which I am going to give a 3 out of 3 wrenches. This is probably going to be a 4+ hour install. This lift kit is for those of you looking for a really complete lift kit that's going to give you great performance on-road and off-road, but especially in those higher speed off-road situations. A lot of rock crawling, low speed wheeling that we do isn't going to require things like Teraflex's speed bumps or a reservoir style shock like this kit includes. So again, this is geared a little bit more toward that higher speed off-road. However, it's still going to work very, very well at low speed doing some crawling and of course on the road as well. If you're comparing this kit to other Teraflex kits, the non-sport Teraflex kits, some of those will include adjustable control arms, they'll include the Teraflex shocks instead of the Fox shocks, so they are going to have slightly different components. And again, those ones aren't going to be geared as much toward the higher speed off-road as this kit here is. Now, because of the sheer number of components and the quality of components that are included in this kit, this is going to be one of the more expensive kits that we offer. However, in my opinion, if you have the budget for it and you're doing the type of wheeling that this kit is geared toward, this is going to be a good buy. You're getting very high quality stuff and you're getting everything you need to make your Jeep work very, very well. So let's get into the components that are included with this kit. First and foremost, you're going to have your new longer coil springs, and this is where you're going to get that 3 inches of lift from. Of course, you're going to have all 4 springs, front and rear, spring retainers, everything you need, and this is really where your main height is going to come from. Now, anytime you're installing a taller spring, you're also going to need a longer shock to get the most out of that suspension. And with this kit, you are getting a Fox Performance 2.0 series reservoir shock that has been tuned by Teraflex for this kit on your Jeep. So this is designed to ride very, very comfortably, again, both on-road and off-road. Being a reservoir shock, it is again geared a little bit more toward that higher speed off-road. With a shock like this, it's going to be designed not to foam and cavitate like a hydraulic shock might. The nitrogen charge that's in this nitrogen shock is there to keep the foaming cavitation to a minimum, and that foaming and cavitation can just cause some shock fade. And you have the reservoir, which allows you to hold even additional fluid to keep that fluid nice and cool, and again, really be designed for some higher speed wheeling, although these are also going to work very well at lower speeds also. You are going to get some control arms with this kit, but these are going to be fixed length control arms. They're not going to be the flex arms from Teraflex that have the Heim joints on one end. These are going to be rubber joints all the way around. So maybe you would give up a little bit of articulation, but again, this is geared more toward that higher speed, more flat type of off-roading than it is for rock crawling. You're going to get 6 control arms with this kit, which is going to be all 4 in the rear and the front lower control arms. The 4 in the rear is going to set your pinion angle correct, so you're not going to get any driveline vibrations. And up front, you're also going to reset your pinion angle, but you're going to get some caster correction as well. When you lift your Jeep, you roll the axle, which changes the caster, and when you don't have the proper caster angle, the tires won't want to self-center, which can give you a bit of a flighty feel, especially when you're going down the highway. So these control arms that you're going to get in the kit are going to fix both pinion and caster in the front and pinion in the back to make sure that all of your angles are closer to factory and going to work very, very well. Now, as far as centering the axles left to right underneath the Jeep, up front you're going to get one of Teraflex's adjustable track bars, which is going to be much, much stronger than a factory track bar, as well as it says in the name, it's going to be adjustable. So this is going to let you center that axle completely in the front. Out back, you're going to get a track bar bracket, so you're going to use your factory track bar, but this bracket is going to give you a little bit of adjustability so you can change your roll center. This is the beefier style track bar that Teraflex offers, so this is going to attach to your axle in a total of 3 different locations, being a very, very strong connection. So even though this is a little bit higher up, can provide a little bit more leverage. You're not going to get any wobble out of this bracket. So far, the components that we talked about are components that are included in a lot of lift kits. With this kit, you're also going to get sway bar end links, of course, which again are something that you get in a lot of different lift kits. But then there are some components that you don't get in every lift kit. And that's going to be right over here, the Teraflex speed bump. Now what that is designed to do is as your axle is coming up, instead of just coming in contact with a normal jounce bumper, which is designed to absorb that impact, it can still be a little jarring, a little bit shocking at speed. So these speed bumps are there to soften that blow even further and really give you a nice soft landing when you're hitting bumps at higher speed. Now, because of the travel that the suspension has, because of the length of the shocks and the springs and just how everything works together, this kit is also going to include limiting straps in both the front and the rear, which is going to help limit the down travel. So again, when you're going a little bit faster and you're off-road, the ground drops out from underneath of you instead of the shock having to hold all of the weight of the axle falling. Now you have a limiting strap, which is going to help save the shocks from that damage. As far as this install goes, again, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 3 wrenches. This is something that's going to probably take you 4 hours or more. There is some drilling, some modification that you'll need to do to your Jeep to get this kit installed properly. You're gonna need a lot of tools, probably empty the whole toolbox, but the main steps of the install are going to be pretty similar to a lot of other kits out there. So the first step is, of course, supporting the Jeep by the frame, jacking it up. You're going to remove or loosen anything that's keeping the axles from completely drooping. So you're gonna have to go ahead and loosen up your brake line brackets, your sway bar, end links, and your shocks. Go ahead and let the axle completely droop down, remove the springs. Pop in your new springs, your new shocks, your new track bars, control arms while there's no load on the axles. That's a really good time to install the control arms. While everything's out of the way, you can install the speed bumps, the limiting straps, do your drilling. All in all, like I said, fairly standard steps in the fairly standard order, but there are going to be a few additional steps because of the additional components that are included in this kit that you don't have to do with some other lift kits, which will add to the level of difficulty. So this kit isn't the most expensive lift kit that we offer. It's not even the most expensive lift kit that Teraflex offers, but it is going to be a little pricier than some others because of the sheer number of components that are included and the quality of the components. These Fox Performance 2.0 reservoir shocks by themselves are going to be very expensive. And then you start adding all of the other components that are included here, and the price does add up quickly. So I think for a kit that includes everything, that has the shocks tuned for the springs and the weight of the vehicle, that's really very, very well put together, I don't think this kit is overpriced. However, this is a kit that's designed for a very specific type of off-roading, and you are gonna have to have a higher budget for it, so it's not for everybody. If you are looking to do a little bit of a higher speed style off-roading, you're not looking at doing that really low speed rock crawling, and you have the budget for it, I think this is a very well put together kit. So that's my review of the Teraflex 3-inch Sport ST3 suspension with shocks fitting your 2007 and up JK that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.